Galnet News Digest, 12th of October 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, the People Pods free the Matrix sites. And the federal election finally gets underway.
Rescuing the pod people helps in the fight to repel the Thargoids, and they have even allowed a number of barnacle matrix systems to be cleared, opening up the way to eliminate the Thargoids from all but the 8 Maelstrom systems. The research carried out by Commander Mechan and others shows that burrowing into the Thargoid Titan motherships and scooping up the humans in their biostorage capsules and then turning them in at a rescue megaship has a noticeable effect on the ability of the Thargoids to fight on the front line in counter-strike systems. Each capsule turned in is the equivalent of 1/5 of a Thargoid tissue sample, which doesn't sound all that great until you realise it has the same effect in all the counter-strike systems. Overall, it has a huge effect, but only if you turn the People Pods in to a rescue megaship, not just any old search and rescue contact. Even systems with barnacle matrix sites are affected. In the first week, since the subsurface rescue missile became available, at least 9 such systems have been cleared of Thargoids, leaving barnacle matrix sites in human control. Although the revenants that continue to patrol their little batch of the liberated systems may disagree. Thousands of pods have been rescued already, but there are millions of captives still held by the Thargoids. Now we know that rescuing them also drives the Thargoids out. The Thargoids could have only weeks left before they have to abandon their attempt to take over the bubble. Only 99 formerly human systems are now Thargoid controlled. In all, Thargoids control 433 systems in the bubble, meaning they have lost control of nearly 2/3 of the systems they once occupied. There are no systems invaded by Thargoids this week.
Voting has started in the federal presidential election, but Hudson plans to remain in power until at least the start of 3310. The week of celebration came to an abrupt end when Hudson revealed that he'd remain president for the foreseeable future, regardless of whether Winters or Archer is elected to replace him. The delay is apparently to do with an ancient custom that allows enough time for the president-elect to travel from Beagle Point to Seoul in a stock Sidewinder without any assistance from the fuel rats. The 4 days of election will end on Monday, when the result is expected to be announced. The candidates are Hudson's Vice President Jerome Archer and his running mate Nico Shirakawa, a pair of hardline authoritarian Republicans, and Shadow President Felicia Winters of the Liberal Party, who's chosen to run with the matriarch of the Rochester dynasty, Congressman Isolde Rochester, mother of Congressman Jordan, and the disgraced traitor Jupiter. Early indications are that it'll be a close-run race, but Winters remains the favourite to win, at least partly because her face is more widely recognised. Commanders who contributed to the celebrations have not yet been granted their festive flak cannon. In any case, perhaps it's better to wait until Hudson actually leaves office before trying them out.
The Empire is watching the federal election with detached interest. Since the Emperor, stung by the failure of Salvation's Proteus wave, adopted an isolationist stance, the Empire has had relatively little interest in federal shenanigans. But the election of a new president, something that only happens every 8 or 9 years, is worth a look. Cassia Carvalho, writing for the Imperial Herald, says it is not the people of the Empire, but the Senate that is worried about the election. A newly elected federal president who might want to demonstrate their superiority over the Empire right in the middle of the Thargoid invasion would be a concern. With no immediate prospect of the Emperor ending her isolationist policies, there's not much upside for the Empire to a change of leader in the Federation. Senator and Admiral Denton Petraeus said he'd prefer the predictable posturing of Archer over the cunning and deceit of the ostensibly more Empire-friendly Winters. Only Princess Aisling de Val could see signs of hope. With her cross-superpower experience at Aegis, Aisling expressed hope that whoever the new president may be, they might break the cycle of escalating tensions between the Empire and Federation. She said that Winters could make a good ally for the Empire, but she expressed misgivings about Winters' running mate Isolde Rochester, whose son, Jordan, Aisling dated 5 years ago. But after all, who gets on with their prospective mother-in-law?
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.